Welcome to section 3.4. This is titled More on Graphing Linear Equations. Well, let's continue with basically what we left off in 3.3. Graphing. Let's write this equation. Let's put this equation down on my sheet of paper and see what's so special about this. They're saying find the slope and the Y-intercept. Wow. Well, that would be a wow if I didn't give you any description about what's so special about this equation. This equation, when you have a y equals an x term plus a number, that's a special format. Okay, let me show you the special format. Okay, y equals mx plus b. That format, some books call it the standard form of a line. Some books say it's the Slope-Intercept Form. I think this book calls it the Slope-Intercept Form. But the whole idea is if you've got an equation that looks like this, the number that's in front of the x is the slope. The number that's after the plus sign, okay, is the y-intercept. So basically that number there, 2, is the y-intercept, and this m is the number in front of the x squared, which if all you see is a minus sign, it's a -1. Okay, so let's put that in there. The number in front of the x is -1. Okay, check your answer. Good. And the y-intercept is, well, when it's a y-intercept, see, let me just give you a generalized equation here. There's an equation there. There's a line. That line crosses the y-axis there. This is the y-axis. Okay? When it crosses the y-axis, regardless of where it is, the x value is 0. That's why they automatically put the 0 there. But where it crosses the y-axis on the axis is the number 2. The number 2. So basically, if you've got the slope-intercept form of the equation, you just look at it. There's no calculation involved. There really isn't any calculation involved. Let me check the answer. Good job. Let me do another one. Maybe the next one. Okay, no, that's not the next one. Let's do a similar question. Here, I'm going to give you one. We can spend all day. I don't like the equations that they give us. How about this? If I have an equation that looks like this, 2x minus 4, okay? And I ask you, what is the slope and what's the intercept, the y-intercept? First off, what I'll do is I look to see if this is your standard form. Y equals an x term, then a number. Yes, that's the standard form. Okay, the slope is 2. You don't have to do anything. That's the slope, the number in front of the x. The y-intercept is not 4, it's -4, always with the sign. Okay, so the y-intercept crosses this line crosses the y-axis at -4, and it implies that there's a 0 in that point when it crosses the y-axis. Okay? I hope you get it. It's as simple as that. I know you're saying, wow, there's got to be more to it. There really isn't. And I started it in the middle in this homework because I have my own little way of doing it. So I'll go back to problems 1, 2, and 3 later. I just like my technique better. Now write this equation in slope-intercept form. Okay. Here's what you're going to do. Don't save that. File, new. Okay, bring this over here. All right, write that equation. First off, what I'm writing down is an equation of a line, but it's not in your slope-intercept form. See, right now, it's very difficult to tell by looking at this equation what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. So what you need to do is move terms around so that you have a y equals. Well, you know what? I see a negative y here. I really want a positive y, so let me add y to both sides. Okay, then I've got my x equals 8 plus y. Okay, I really want a y all by itself. I don't want that 8 there, so subtract 8. Subtract 8. All right, so now here's what you got. X minus 8 equals y. That's standard form. Okay, it doesn't matter where the y is. The y could be, if you really want the y on the left, just move these terms around. Move these expressions around. There it is. Now it starts to look like y equals equation. Now, what's the number in front of the x? Well, I don't see a number in front of the x. But there is a number in front of the x, the number 1. Okay, so first off, let's put that in there. Okay, this is a slope-intercept form right there. Put down y equals x minus 8. Check your answer. Nice, nice, nice. Is that it? And that's all they want us to do. Nice. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, I think I could sneak this problem here. Oh, by the way, while we're here, if they did ask you what the slope was, the slope would be 1. M would be equal to 1 because the number in front of the x is 1. And the y-intercept automatically has a 0 for x, and it's this number right here with the sign. That's the y-intercept. That's what you would put in if they asked for it, but I guess they didn't ask for it. So that's okay. 3x plus 6y equals 1. Okay, slope-intercept form. Y equals something. Get rid of that 3x. Subtract 3x from both sides. Okay, then at least we'll have a chance of getting this thing right here. 6y equals minus 3x. Okay, minus 3x. Okay, so none of these terms combine, so it's minus 3x plus 1. Okay, well, 6y, I don't want 6y. I want y. So what do you think we're going to do? We get rid of the 6. We divide it. Y is being multiplied by 6. We divide by 6, and we do that to both sides. Cancel that. Y equals. Now, here we have this numerator. We're dividing by a number. Basically, what you're going to do is distribute this denominator into two separate parts. Negative 3x over 6, that's what that means, plus 1 over 6. Okay, that's what that means. Now, let's do that first. By the way, make sure when you enter y equals, don't do this. 3 over 6. 3 over 6 is silly. Y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 1/6. Okay, that's better because 3/6 is 1/2. The negative is there. That didn't get involved with anything. So negative 1/2. The slope of this line would be negative 1/2. And the y-intercept would be 0, 1/6. But I don't think they want that. They want us just to enter this equation in slope-intercept form. So we got to put in y equals. And what I got here is correct. That's true. I'm going to make a fraction. You know what I'm going to do first? Here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to put the minus sign in the middle. Right there. Then I'm going to make a fraction. Instead of saying 1/2 x, why can't I just say x divided by 2? X divided by 2. It's the same thing. Okay, 1 times x is x divided by 2. It just looks cleaner to me. Plus another fraction. 1 over 6. Let's see if that's right. Nice. Very good. This might have to be split into 2 videos because there's a lot of questions on this. Oh, okay. Use the slope and y-intercept, if possible, to graph this line. Well, you know what? this isn't much different from the stuff that we did in section 3.3. It really isn't much different than that. Let me come over here, start another sheet of paper, new. Okay, when you're graphing something, all you really care about is having 2 points. That's all you really care about. They better be good points, but that's all you want. So let me put the standard equation right there. Okay, minus 3. I can tell you that 1 point is the y-intercept. I can tell you 1 point right off the bat that I can use. Okay, because the y-intercept, this line would cross the y-axis at 0, comma, -3. And that's the same thing I was saying in chapter 3, only with different words, or section 3. You know, I say pick a value of x. I say x is 0. Well, if x is 0, y is -3. Well, there you go. That happens to be. I never called it the y-intercept. I think I did. I don't know, but that's 1 point. All right. Now we need another point. I don't see why we can't plug in 1. Okay, in this, you get to pick the value of x. If you plug in the value of 1 in this, I get -4 times 1. You got to do a multiplication first. That'll be -4 minus 3, which will give you an answer of -7 for that point. Okay, let's plot those points. Okay, same thing as section 3.3. Click. Line. 0, -3 is right there. Click it. Okay, then we got to do 1, -7. There you go. That's it. Check your answer. Great job. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. This is the same stuff as section 3.3. You should want your money back. We're doing this over and over and over again. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. But I guess that's the only way to really learn, is to do stuff repetitively over and over and over again. Just overcome the boredom. That's all it is, overcoming the boredom. So let's write down y equals -4/3 x minus 4. Okay? If x is 0, what's y? That just happens to be the y-intercept. 0, comma, -4. It crosses the y-axis at -4. Okay? Now what we need to do is plug in a value of x that we can really plug into our graph here. See, the problem is you can only do whole numbers. You can't. If I said x is 1, I'd have -4/3, and that basically you'd have a fraction involving thirds, and I can't graph thirds anywhere here. So what you got to do you remember what we got to do? What you got to do is pick a value of x. That's the same thing as the denominator. Make it 3. X is 3. And when we do that, -4/3 times 3 minus 4. See, the 3's cancel, leaves you -4. Minus 4 is -8. Yay, we got those 2 points. Let's plot them and go on to the next problem. Right here. 0, -4, boom. 3, -8. Now make sure, sometimes if you're not careful, you could move it. So be careful moving the mouse. Okay? -8. I think there's a little thing that tells you what on the bottom here, although I can't see it on my screen. Yeah, there probably would be somewhere here that identifies the point to help you out. Fantastic. See, am I lying to you? I don't think I'm lying to you. Not lying to you. I lie to you about other things, not math. Math is truth. Math is truth. Okay, x plus y equals 6. Now what they're saying is graph the following equation using slope and y-intercept. In other words, what they're saying is make this equation look like a y equals something. That minus x can't be there. Cannot be there, so get rid of it. Y equals negative x plus 6. Now that's your standard form, beautiful form. I can tell you right now, 1 point is the y-intercept. It's a give me, 0, 6. And then you get to pick a value of x, and I don't see any problem picking 1. Plug in 1 in there is negative 1 plus 6 is 5. So those are your 2 points. So let's see if that's right. 0. 0, positive 6. Positive 6. That's 1 point. Now 1, 5. 1, 5 is there. I'm going to click my answer. Good job. And you know, that sort of makes sense. The slope is going down because look at this number in front of the x. Negative 1. When it's a negative slope, it goes down. So at least we're graphing correctly. You know what? That's, oh, I don't know what I did there. Okay, let's do this one. Let me just go ahead. Okay. Let me do number 10. Number 10. Y equals negative 3/7 x. It's almost scary that we don't have a number there, but that's all right. We actually do have a number there, you know. Okay, like over here we had a plus 6. What do you think the number here is? Plus 0. So, whatever. You don't really need that. I'll tell you right now, if x is 0, negative 3/7 of 0 is still 0, whether there's a number there or not. Okay, so that's the y-intercept. Now, forget about plugging x as 1 because that'll give me negative 3/7, and there's no 7s on that graph. So what was the trick? Pick the denominator. Pick x as 7. And when I pick x as 7, plug that in there for your second point. Remember, it's all based on the idea that only 2 points determine a line. All right, and so the other point doesn't necessarily have to always be 1. In this case, it's 7. The 7's cancel, leaves you with minus 3 for y, and there you go. Those are your 2 points. Click, click. Line. 0, 0 right there. And then we have 7 horizontal, negative 3 vertical. Boom, right there. Click your answer. Well done. What's the next one look like? Ooh, this is a difficult problem. It's not. Nothing's really difficult. If I show you, it won't be difficult. It will not be difficult here. Okay, so it's not graphing anything. Here we've got 2 points. And from those 2 points, we need to come up with an equation of a line. All right, so let's do that. So let's copy these points on my paper here. See what they got. Negative 12, comma, negative 8. And then we've got negative 8, comma, 12. Okay, now how do we start this problem? Here's how you start this type of problem. Write an equation of a line. Okay, start off with the standard form of the line. That's slope-intercept form, right there. Okay, that's your starting point. Okay, we might as well take these points, and we did that before in a couple of videos ago. I would like to find the slope. Well, we know how to do the slope from those 2 points. That's not a big deal. It's y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. We'll call this point 1. We'll call this point 2 and be done with it. Here's what we got. All right. y2, 12. The y value of point 2 minus the y value of point 1, which, be careful, is minus 8. So it's minus a minus 8. So put that in parentheses. x2 is negative 8 minus x1, which is a negative 12. Now, what do we got here? This looks like 12 minus a minus is plus. 12 plus 8 is 20. This is negative 8 plus 12. Minus a minus again, plus 12. So negative 8 plus 12 is 4, which is the number 5. 20 divided by 4. So we've got half the problem done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that 5 we just calculated, substitute it in for m, right there, and put the plus b there. Now how do we get the plus b? Well, here's how you get the plus b. Pick a point, any point, doesn't matter which one. Plug in the x and y of that point, and then solve for b. Pick a point that doesn't look so bad. I'm going to pick this one here because there's a little positivity there. That's the only reason. And I'm a positive guy. And that says, hey, if x is negative 8, y is 12, y is 12 equals 5 times negative 8. That's when I plug it in that point, plus b. Okay. And so what do we got here? We got 12 equals negative 40 plus b. Now I'm going to solve for b. When I solve for b, I'm going to add 40 to both sides. I get 52 equals b. So here we go. Take the 52 we calculate, put that in there. We get y equals 5x plus 52. 52 scares me a little bit. But hey, I have faith in my abilities. And if I got it wrong, so we'll do it again. We'll figure out what we did wrong. Now, don't enter the y equals. They already gave us a y equals. So don't do it again. It'll be marked wrong. Just put in the 5x plus 52. Hit enter. Nice work. Yeah. Good. Fireworks go off. I should have a little fireworks button. Okay. What's this mean? What the heck does this mean? What the heck does this mean? File, new, okay. Alrighty, let's see, what do we got? Write the equation of a horizontal line passing through this point. A horizontal line is always a y equals. Remember from that video? A horizontal line is always a y equals equation. Y equals a number. Just put that down in your notes. Horizontal means y equals. If it goes through this point, okay, we just pick the y value of that point, which is 4, and there you go. Y equals 4. Okay, it's always a y equals equation. It's got to go through that point. The value of that y must be the value of the y in the point. Check your answer. Check your answer. Well done. I bet you there's an x equals. Yep, there's an x equals right here. Find the equation of the graph. This is a vertical line. That's a vertical line. Vertical lines are x equal equations. Okay, x equals equations. They're telling you that this vertical line is going through this point. And this point has an x value of 4.5. So the equation must be x equals 4.5. It's as simple as that. Don't read anything into it more than what I just said. X equals 4.5. Enter. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll do this one problem, then I'm going to stop the video and come up with a second video to finish up the rest of these problems here, because it might be too long a video. So let's do what we have here. Find the equation of the graph. Okay. Let's start off with a new sheet of paper. Don't save. Don't save. File, new. Okay. You know, this is not much different from the problem we did where they gave us 2 points. All we care about are these 2 points that they gave us. 0, 3. And this is 4, -3. That's the only thing that of all this information they give us here, the only thing that means anything to us are the 2 points. Okay? And so I jot those down. Y equals mx plus b is the equation we start with, your starting point. The slope-intercept form. I guess we need to calculate the slope. And the slope requires a 0.1, a 0.2. Okay, m equals y2. y2 is -3. Let me just circle this 0.2, be consistent. Minus the y value of 0.1, which is 3, divided by the x2, which is the 4, minus x1, which is 0. There you go. This is -6 over 4, which you'll never accept because you can simplify it to be 3 over 2. Divide the top and bottom by 2. So what do we got here? Y equals. This is your standard form. Take this slope, put it in there for m, so it's -3/2 x plus b. Okay, stop right there. What do we need to do now? Do you remember? You need to find the b. Okay? Take any one of those points. It doesn't matter. Take any one of those points. But pick one that looks the easiest. Okay? And plug in those values for x and y, and you'll come up with a b. I think having x equals 0 is the easiest. Because when x is 0, this mess is 0. You're left with b on that side, on the right side. So 0 plus b is b. But don't forget that the left-hand side has to be 3 when we plug it in. There you go. B is 3. So, let me put the answer right in here. Right in here. I'm going to say y equals, okay, -3/2 x plus 3. Check your answer. Yes. Okay, we'll stop the video here and we'll continue with the second video. Take care. Bye.